Hi friends. Now in today's video I want to talk about how to utilize the remaining month or so for NEETPG and how to best prepare for it. Now you have seen and we've shared a lot of videos of the rankers. We have had fabulous results in AIMS and PGI Chandigarh with DAM students this year, and we have shared with you their success stories, their strategies, and but I feel it is my duty to come back to you and talk to people who have not done so well in the central exams, because all said and done in the central institutes there is a small set number of seats, and there is a larger exam remaining called as NEETPG. And why am I calling exam NEETPG as a larger exam? Because of the number of seats. The number of seats in NEET is in thousands when I talk about it, while when we talk about central institutes we are talking about hundreds. So it is of very important, it is of utmost importance for everybody who has not done so well in these two exams to realize that there is a bigger exam remaining. There is a bigger exam. And what is the exam? I want to again specify for you. Exam is an opportunity. There is a bigger opportunity remaining. Now I will now tell you how to go about NEETPG in the remaining 30 days. I'll give you a step-by-step outline of how to go about it. The first is, let's accept whatever has happened in the past, and then we start forward after that. Now you have to understand that what does acceptance means. Acceptance means that you say that okay, I've not done well. Then, because when you agree that you've not done well, then you put in your effort into doing a strength weakness analysis. What is strength weakness analysis? That every time you appear for a competitive exam, after the exam you have an opportunity to, because that opens up. The exam would expose you. It will show you that these are my weak areas. This is what I did not revise. This is what I got wrong in this exam. This is what I got wrong in this exam. And you gave two dramatically opposite exams. AIMS has a different exam pattern from PGI Chandigarh. AIMS is more on the basic sciences and the emergencies and infections that we have talked to you about in my previous videos, while PGI Chandigarh is about core knowledge that you acquire in your MBBS curriculum. So you have given two exams. After the exams you just need to make a chart in your notebook saying anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, path, pharma, microforensic, the preclinical, the ophtha, ENT, PSM, the medicine, surgery, obs and gynae, and then circle what you were weak at. That is strength weakness analysis, and you will now put more effort on your weakness first. Because NEET is a bigger exam, it has 300 MCQs, unlike AIMS where you have 200 questions, unlike PGI and JIPMER where you have 250 questions, NEET has 300 questions. So the chances are, if you have a weakness exposed already, that weakness will get even more exposed in NEET if you don't work on them, because the number of questions will be more in NEET. That is my first message. The second message that I want you to have is that in the last month before a big exam like NEET, you don't cook new food. You don't cook new food. What do I mean by cooking new food? Cooking new food means that there are always two phases in preparation. If I say the first 10 months of your preparation was spent in collecting resources, making notes, and I'm sure you all did a lot of notes making in our classrooms. You worked hard making notes, you used different colors to do that. So that was creating, you were cooking food at that time. I agree to that. But in the last month, you don't cook any more new food. That means please don't run after new resources at this time. Your duty should be to revisit, and you have to visit those notes again. That is what is called as revision. You have to take again a new look at your notes, and that is very important to revise notes, consolidate them. Now how would you consolidate them? I would divide the remaining time into two phases. Phase 1 till 9th of December, where you have a DAM CBT coming up. We are doing a DAM CBT in the 9th of December, and from 9th onward till NEET you have around 25 days. 25 days or 28 days is the approximate time. I would say, if I was in your place, till the DAM CBT 2, I want you to focus on your weaknesses, on your things that you have missed. Try and do a quick mop up of your things that you have missed on. Like suppose if you missed out on some PSM updates in this exam, or you missed out on some, you do that, you finish them. Also look at the mistakes that you have made in AIMS and PGI or in any central exam. Please look at them. Use this time. And after the CBT till the final NEET exam, I want you to revise your class notes, and in the last 1 or 2 days I want you to look at DVT. So that is what I believe, and because visuals are a very important part of NEET as well. Although the proportion of visuals in NEET is usually not as much as what you get in AIMS, but still visuals form an important part of the NEET exam. So you need to look at the visuals in the last day again. That is why I want you to look at DVT in the end. I also want to point out to you that, many students will ask me that how should I divide these 25 days into subjects? The simplest ways and the most logical ways, please look at the weightage they have given to each prof. First prof in NEETPG, according to the new curriculum that they have devised, is approximately 50 questions out of 300. Okay, the second prof is 75 questions. So I would, assign my days proportionate to these numbers. So the method is 50 by 300 into 25. That should be able to calculate the number of days you want to put on those questions. 75 by 300 into the number of days, 25, 26, 27, how many days you want to put that revision cycle in, and you assign the days to the second prof. And if you notice, PSM 25 questions, very, very important. And I would say that if you look at, obs and gynae, they have increased the number of questions there. I would put similar, there is a video by me in the YouTube where I have dissected the entire marking scheme of NEETPG 2019. Please look at that video and assign accordingly. That is smart study. Don't go after, somebody telling you put 2 days here, 3 days. Just to go about it in a more logical fashion according to the marks distribution of the exam. So my advice is divide 27, 28 days after the damn CBT till the NEET exam into revision. Put the days with a weighted calculation on the basis of the marks distribution of the NEET 2019, and you have 50 questions from prof, 75 from second, 25 from pre-SM, and 150 from all the clinical subjects put together. That is the approximate weightage of the exam, and that is the approximate time you should be spending in revision. And also mark you, this time in NEET exam they have divided into category A, B and C. And in the tiebreaker criteria, they have given more value to the subjects in C category, then B, then A. That also should be in your mind when you are revising clinical subjects. You need to be more accurate. Okay, you need to be more accurate. So you have to keep it in mind. AIMS was a different exam. PGI was a different exam. NEET is a different exam. In AIMS, if you notice, out of 200, approximately 100 questions were from basic sciences, put only basic sciences. And then you had PSM and obs and gynae. Everything else was squeezed into 60, 70 questions, because you have total 200 questions. While when you will be appearing for NEET, that is 300 questions. It's an expanded, format. And in that exam, you will have more questions for everything, and the clinical sciences also have their own relevance, and they have more weightage in the tiebreaker criteria. So that is where I want you to understand the shift between these two exams. Each exam is a different exam. You have to look at the strategy when you revise. In the last day, I recommend that you do the DVT session. Also, now is also the time to look at any tests that are remaining with you. In the entire year long, you have been doing class tests, subject wise tests that we've given, grand tests. So if any of those tests is remaining with you, it is good idea to finish them also. Tests are always high yield and they open your eyes, they expose your blind spots. It is important to give those tests. And I would like to add a line here. That if you have tests pending, look at them. If you have already done all the tests, then only look at the bookmarked questions that you have marked for revision for later on. I would also strongly recommend that you can spend some time into looking at your phone and have those snapshots ready. I am sure you all have been doing snapshots anytime we put an update on the Facebook group and all. I see many students have created folders in their mobile phones, so it's a good idea to flip through those images a day before the exam or anytime you are in a free time. And I would also add here, it is important to stay away from negativity. At this time, there will be people who will tell you negativity, they will tell you negative things. So you have to kind of, look out for positivity and hang on to it. You have to hang on to it. And before I tell you more about it, I also want to add there is a role of previous papers. You have to look at some previous papers, and the most important previous paper to look at is NEETPG 2018. Now, why am I saying this? Reason I'm saying this is because NEET 2018 was a single set paper. Before this, you had multi-set exams in NEET. So that means every NEET before this was a set of 20 sets of 300 questions, and that made the volume too big. And there were some one-liners in that pattern, while in today's pattern there is a good chunk of clinical questions in the real exam. So I would not recommend you to run after anybody who is publishing a 5-year guide of NEET. Most of them would not have, they would have actually put on some copy-paste questions from the classic guides, and they would not be high yield here. I would say stick to 2018 revision here. If you get time, maybe you can look a year back. You've already seen, we've shared with you the last 3 years AIM solution for you. You can look at them, and plus I would say add to this all thing. So now we have covered notes, which papers to look at. If you have done the test, do the marked MCQs. If they are test pending, please do them right now, and there is enough time. I want to spend a lot of emphasis. I want to give you this idea that it is possible. In 1 month you can change many things. I've seen many people massively improve after the first, they give the central exams. Sometimes they don't do well for various reasons. One of the prime reasons is that when you give a central exam, some of you from your internship, when you're coming forward, this is the first exam that you're giving for some of you, and then that hits you. And in that nervousness and in that that big occasion feeling that you were having, you do a lot of silly mistakes. But now when you reach to this NEET exam, you would be at a stage where you have done those mistakes. You know how an exam feels like. This is why it is very important for you. I would strongly recommend, please do give the CBT exam in the exam centers. Please go to the exam centers, get a feel once more about the real exam, and thereafter, you should not feel in the, you should not feel overwhelmed in the real exam. I am quoting a very important line. I feel this is the most important line for the exams. Give mock test as if you are giving a real exam. Okay, give mock test with the same intensity, same feeling as if you're giving a real exam, but give the real exam as if you're giving a mock test. You should have no anxiety in the real exam. But to happen, you have to practice. Make sure that you finish your pending tests. Make sure that you appear with CBT with the same anxiety level as you would do in the real exam, and in the real exam feel more relaxed. That is the reverse phenomena that you have to create. I also want to take this moment to address many students who might not have done well in these central exams. So I want to quote a statement here, that it is not about how hard you are able to hit in a boxing ring. It is about how hard you get hit, and then even then you get up to ask for one more round. That is quoting Rocky Balboa here. So the idea here is that the champions are not the one who you go at, they hit hard, they win. Real champions are one who, even if they get hit, are able to get back, stand up again, and face the next match. And the next match is the big match. NEETPG would have the maximum number of PG seats for you. So I hope with this you have an overview of the phenomena of the revision strategy that I want you to target. Divide the remaining time into 2 zones. Time before the CBT, time after the CBT. Till CBT, mop up, clean up your weaknesses. First do a strength analysis, clean up your weaknesses. After the CBT, only revision. Revision should primarily focus your class notes, and any marked MCQs. Please also add any pending tests that you have still pending. Do them. They will open up your eyes. They will expose your blind spots. You might be missing out on a few things. You will be able to do them. And then DBT before the real exam. Please revise the visuals. Visuals will play an important part in this NEET as every year they do. And go and give a good exam. I'll make another video on how to approach the exam, how to do the strategy. But I hope you benefit from this video. My goal is to make sure that you do very well here. I am here to buck you up. My goal is to tell you, let's start again. Even if these 2 exams did not go well for you, let's start again. 30 days are enough. You will be able to push it through. It is inside you. It is about how hard you get hit, and then even then you get up again. That is the entire way forward. That is what the champions are made up of, and I can see a champion in you. I wish you all the best. I look forward to taking an interview of you in this damn studio, in this YouTube channel. You will be the next person giving an interview. Start writing what you will say in the interview to the future aspirants. I wish you all the best.